So let's talk about a challenge that pretty much defines a generation, trying to manage your time in a world that is basically built to distract you. We're going to dive into the work of Imran Choudhary, who has this amazing way of framing it. He doesn't see it as a chore. He sees it as a heist, a mission to steal back the hours that just vanish every single day. So let's figure out how to crack the code.
And really, that's what this is all about, isn't it? This isn't just about packing more stuff into your schedule. It's about building a life that, down the road, you'll be proud of. Choudhary says that, deep down, that anxiety we all feel, it's not about having to work hard. It's the fear of wasting our potential. So think of this as your blueprint for turning that fear into action.
To really get this system, we've got to start with the author's own story. And it's a journey that doesn't start with some brilliant success. Nope, it starts with a pretty shocking failure, one that made him rethink literally everything he knew about how to study.
Okay, picture this. It's your first big exam of the year. You've actually put in the hours, you studied seriously for maybe the first time in your life, and you walk out of that exam hall feeling on top of the world. You're telling your parents, your friends, I totally nailed it. That's exactly where Imran was.
And then the results came in. It wasn't just a bad score, it was a complete shock. 33 out of 50. In math, he got a 1 out of 10. Oof, this was that moment of truth. All that work, all that confidence, and it meant nothing in the final result. So what on earth went wrong?
And that's when it hit him. The problem wasn't that he was lazy. He had put in the effort. The problem was deeper. You know those traditional, color-coded timetables we all try to make? He tried them over and over, and they just never worked. He needed a whole new system, one that wasn't about rigid schedules, but about seeing clear, daily progress.
His solution was, honestly, so simple it's kind of brilliant. Instead of some complicated hourly plan, he just made a daily scorecard. Every day, he'd set a few clear goals, and then, this is the key, he'd physically check them off. This made his progress something he could see, and that built momentum. He says the first 5 days were tough, but after that, he actually got addicted to the routine.
So, the big question, what happened next? The next exam, he didn't say a word to anyone about how he thought he did. But when those results came back, a perfect score, 100%. He went from a 33 to a perfect score, not because he studied more, but because he studied smarter. His secret weapon was just that simple, daily, tracked goal list.
All right, so how do we start pulling off our own time heist? Well, the first step in any good heist is to know your target. And in our case, the targets are all those sneaky, hidden time killers that just drain our days without us even noticing. Most of our time isn't lost in big, obvious chunks. It's eaten away by these tiny little distractions.
Get this. According to Choudhary's research, most of us are losing 3 to 4 hours every single day to what he calls micro-distractions. You know what these are. The endless scrolling, spending 10 minutes overthinking a simple decision, getting pulled into a conversation that goes absolutely nowhere. They feel so small and harmless in the moment, but you add them all up and they steal a massive chunk of your day.
And the number one culprit, the master thief of our time? Yeah, it's no surprise. It's the device that's probably within arm's reach right now. Every single ping, every notification is precision engineered to pull you away from what you're doing. But the real cost of that little interruption is so much bigger than you think.
Okay, this number is actually staggering. A study from the University of California, Irving, found that it takes an average of 23 minutes to get back to a state of full, deep focus after just one single interruption. Let that sink in. A 5-second notification check can cost you almost half an hour of your best brain power. If that happens just 6 times a day, boom, you've lost 3 hours of peak focus time. It's a thief hiding in plain sight.
But here's the good news. You can absolutely fight back. There are some simple defenses. Turn off all non-essential notifications. That's you telling your brain what's important, not letting an app decide for you. Use Do Not Disturb mode like it's a fortress of focus. Better yet, physically put your phone in another room to break that muscle memory of just reaching for it. And my favorite tip, before you unlock your phone, just pause for a second and ask yourself, why? It's a tiny question that can break that mindless cycle.
Okay, so once you've plugged all those leaks, the next step is to embrace this idea that not all hours are created equal. This is a total game changer. It's about managing your energy, not just your clock.
The book introduces this brilliant concept of magic hours and dead hours. Your magic hour, that's that golden window of time when your brain is just on fire, firing on all cylinders. That's when you do your hardest work, your most complex problems. Then there's your dead hour.
That afternoon slump when you feel sluggish. That time is perfect for low-effort stuff, like organizing your notes or cleaning up your inbox. The whole key is to stop fighting your body's natural rhythm and start working with it. So, how do you find your magic hours? It's a really simple 3-step experiment. For just 1 week, keep a little log of your energy and focus levels. Don't judge it, just observe. Are you sharpest in the morning? Do you get a second wind at night? Pretty soon, you'll start to see your own unique pattern, your personal peaks and valleys. This isn't about forcing yourself to be a morning person, it's about aligning your most important work with your best energy.
All right, you've found the time leaks and you understand your own energy cycles. But look, knowing all this stuff isn't enough, right? The final, crucial step is to forge all this knowledge into a real habit. And that's where a challenge comes in, one designed to make these changes actually stick.
So the final section of the book lays out a 21-day time mastery challenge. Now, why 21 days? Because there's a lot of behavioral science that shows this is a really powerful amount of time for rewiring our brains and building new neural pathways. It's just long enough to build habits that can last a lifetime. This is where you go from just managing your time to truly mastering it.
And the challenge is broken down into 3 really logical phases, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. Week 1 is all about awareness, just seeing where your time really goes and breaking those old patterns. Week 2 is where you build structure. You start using time blocking to match your hardest tasks with your magic hours. And week 3 is all about mastery, fine-tuning your system and making that discipline feel like an instinct.
So we'll end with this thought, which really gets to the core of the whole book. Time management isn't really about productivity hacks and apps. It's about a series of small choices you make every single day. The person you hope to be in 5 years, they're being built right now by the tiny intentional decisions you make today. Your future self is watching. What choice will you make?